Olá, meus queridos!
Oi, pessoal!
Hoje teremos dicas de professores estrangeiros para a gente aprender inglês.
É isso aí, nós perguntamos para vários professores de inglês nativos, de língua inglesa, quais são as principais dicas para a gente acelerar aí o aprendizado de inglês.
É isso aí, vamos lá!
Hoje nós vamos pedir várias dicas para professores nativos de língua inglesa e para isso nós vamos utilizar o Cambly, que é uma plataforma que patrocina o nosso canal, onde você pode fazer aulas particulares com professores nativos de língua inglesa, tanto do Canadá, Estados Unidos, Inglaterra, Austrália e outros países, de língua inglesa.
É muito bacana. E tem professores disponíveis 24 horas por dia, Você pode fazer pelo computador ou até pelo aplicativo do celular também,
Isso, e se você utilizar o código que está aqui embaixo, você ganha 15 minutos de graça para fazer a sua aula no Cambly.
É isso aí, o primeiro código que está aqui na descrição do vídeo. O primeiro link que você vai ver aqui embaixo. Vamos lá?
Vamos sim.
Vamos lá que eu tô ansioso.
Tô animado.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great, and how are you guys?
Good. I love
My
your
name-
background.
Yeah,
Thank
very
you. Take a look around. Some letters are missing, but we are fine. I even got a friend right here.
Yaman, what is your main hint or principal hint for people that are learning English and that want to improve faster? What can they do to go faster?
So a daily conversation will help the new learners to express themselves. So this is very essential for beginning to try to communicate. When we start communicating, it's like when we are little kids. What little kids do? They start communicating, trying to speak something, try to make us understand something. And this is how we start learning, The brain starts involving when we do a daily conversation because it connects different areas of the brain. You see, between memories, between at this moment, what we were talking about, the sign language, everything, we are taking it into the moment. So a daily conversation is very essential. Besides that, reading and writing. So when a kid is learning a new language, what the parents do? They teach him alphabet. So what they do? A, B, C, D, over and over. So repetition is great. It makes a better pronunciation. Writing you express your thoughts. For example, draw a house and write about your family. For example, this is a beginning. So it's depending, on the level, depending on the amount of effort want to be put in. So it has many factors, not just one factor. Everything is interconnected.
So my number one recommendation, if you're trying to increase your vocabulary, listening comprehension, and speaking comprehension, is to watch TV shows and movies with English subtitles turned on and the English audio. That way you're practicing reading what they're saying, you're listening to how they pronounce it, and you're just building your vocabulary. You're listening to conversation, how it would normally happen. So a great way to practice along with that is to repeat what they're saying. Watch a scene and repeat it. If you need help understanding it, maybe write down some of the words that are challenging you and look them up once you're done.
Yeah, and now you can pause. Yeah.
You pause and repeat,
pause.
Exactly. Pause it and give it a repeat, especially if it's a new word that you haven't heard before, or if it's a word that you have trouble pronouncing. Pause it, listen to how they pronounce it, repeat it, go back, and try it a few times.
Oh, this is new for me.
And make some notes,
Yeah,
if you're watching, at the same time you're watching, and now you can pause, right? You can watch Netflix or whatever, and you can pause, take notes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Netflix
that's great.
and YouTube has a lot of really great videos as well that you can pause, and they are captioned. So
yeah, that's great. Yeah.
My suggestions, I always vary them at where their actual level is. I try to start with, a nice solid 5 to 10 minute conversation so that I can get an informal assessment on what their language level actually is. From there, my suggestions normally range anywhere from utilizing internet resources such as YouTube or anything where they can watch or listen where native speakers are speaking. If they turn on a subtitle or caption in their native language to support their understanding of the verbiage that's being used, that is a good place to start.
Come prepared to class. Make a list of the words that they are not familiar with. They're not sure if it's the right word or not. You can even look at the definition online and listen to the Cambridge Online Dictionary.
Yeah.
It pronounces in both the American accent and the UK accent. So it's really a great source. Then when you come to Cambly, bring your list with you so the teacher knows what words we need to practice. It saves a lot of time. Some students choose some of the Cambly online lessons. It's a good idea to preview the lesson, read through it, and find out before the class what parts are difficult for you so you can focus on that during the class.
Correct.
First, I tell them to try to practice speaking English often. Look for more situations where you can speak the language, because many of my students learn English strictly from a book or in a class lesson, but they have no practical application. I'm learning the Tagalog language in the Philippines as well, so I understand it is important to speak it verbally, even if it is not perfect. Many of my students are afraid of making mistakes, and they are shy, especially speaking with a new tutor. But as you practice speaking often, you can overcome those mistakes and develop your confidence.
So don't be shy.
Yes.
Don't be shy at all.
Don't be shy. Yes,
don't be
because
afraid of
everyone
making
makes
mistakes.
those mistakes. And that is what I try to encourage my students with the most.
Some people are shy. Like some people, like we know that they say, oh, I don't know, I'm shy of having a conversation with some native because they speak English and I don't. Like this kind of thing. So what can you say to these people?
And in this case, we are very friendly here at Campbell. So I mean, expressing oneself is just part where maybe at the first time, you don't know the person. That's why, we are shy, But if you are just happy and optimistic about it, it's very easy, It's just release yourself and let the conversation take you somewhere.
Oh, great. Yeah.
YouTube is another great resource, especially if you already speak a little bit of English, but you want to increase your vocabulary. YouTube has millions of videos talking about pretty much everything. So if you type in a topic and then English, you're pretty much guaranteed to find at least 1,000 videos that's talking about exactly what you want to hear about.
Every language, every mother tongue, when someone is speaking the language, English language or any language, we always have these mistakes. And how we can overcome these mistakes is by repeating the problem we always do. So, for example, some people will have problem with the th, Some people will have with some. So for example, just repeat that over and over again. Repeat some words that are a bit easier, and start with the levels higher and higher every now and then. It's about how much you repeat, but in the same time, you have to make yourself into it. To not break yourself, to not make something so hard on yourself that it's hard words and you're like trying, and it's not working. But try with something very, very. The level of that words are just lower than. Not in your level, so be on your level and start, talking higher and higher. You have to motivate yourself, so you get some self-esteem, and then when you start getting self-esteem, you get that in and you make it better and better, like for example, now you started with some level and you finished this level, and after 1 month, you're gonna see a huge improvement, you see.
I think that's why it's so important to have face-to-face classes, right? Because if you learn only from books, you generally that's what you learn. Like this,
face-to-face conversation with a native speaker of the language that you were trying to learn is probably one of the key aspects of learning a language. Yeah. It is a key component, because otherwise you will learn the language, and it doesn't matter if it's English or if it's Spanish or if it's Portuguese or Russian, unless you are learning it from someone who has grown up speaking that language and in that culture, you're learning textbook language.
Yeah, textbook.
And
Yeah.
that's enough to pass the test, but it's not really adequate for getting you by in day-to-day interactions.
I believe English language is way more than you express yourself, because you can express yourself on so many different levels, you see. And for online learning, online teaching, you have so many options, to learn. What do you want to learn? So it's not like in textbooks. You see, in textbooks you are focused on, you're gonna learn this one now, and tomorrow this one at this lesson, and after tomorrow this lesson. No, in online teaching it's much more smoother. You would like today to learn about grammar, tomorrow you would like to have a short story, pronunciation, after tomorrow maybe something different. So it's very, very broad.
It totally changed, right? The way we learn languages nowadays. Because of course, when I was like a teenager and I started learning English, I went to English classes, but I don't know, it was different. It was different than nowadays, that you have this chance to speak to native speakers.
I think the most important thing, though, is come and expect good. Expect great.
Yeah, I think one good hint is don't be afraid of speaking, right? Because some people are very shy, but I always tell that face-to-face classes are the best. It's the best way to learn.
Yes. I always tell my students, no one else is listening, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, you're right.
I think another good hint is it's necessary to listen to the grammar rules once or twice, then forget about it.
Oh.
Because you don't want to keep focusing on the rules. You want to focus on practicing how to use it. If you're focusing on the rules, you're saying, oh, is it this rule? Oh, no, it's that rule. Oh, no, I made a mistake. It's the other rule. No, what rule? Oh, I don't know what rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get so confused and then you don't say anything, right?
Yeah, and the brain is just like your muscle. You're training it. So if it's focusing on the rules, that's what it will be trained in the most. If it's focusing on practicing the patterns, that's what it will do best.
Muito bom, hein, Fá? Excelente.
Dicas excelentes, coisas que nem nós tínhamos pensado antes, né? Que pode ajudar mesmo muita gente.
Pois é, aquele lance de, por exemplo, pausar o vídeo. Por exemplo, você vai assistindo, pausa e repete. Né?
Pausa, volta, repete, anota, né? E principalmente anota uma coisa que você teve dúvida na hora para fazer, né, uma aula mais tarde.
E também esse lance de repetição, né? Muitos deles falaram dessa ideia de repetição mesmo. É esforço, né? Nada vem de graça na vida. Então a gente precisa se esforçar mesmo. E eu acho que a gente consegue, né? Até eu consigo. Se até eu consigo, o pessoal vai conseguir.
Você falou, né?
Tá vendo? E o pessoal reclama que eu não falo muito nos vídeos. Mas na verdade, assim, eu não falo muito porque eu quero deixar até os professores falarem, né? Para os professores darem as dicas pra gente. E é uma desculpinha, né?
E você viu que uma das dicas era justamente não ser tímida.
Não ser tímido mesmo, não tem que ser tímido. Você tem que enfiar a cara mesmo, falar mesmo, porque não tem nada a perder, né? O professor...
Aí você viu que um dos professores falou assim, ninguém vai estar ouvindo mesmo, é só nós dois.
Só nós, exatamente. Tem que falar mesmo, tem que perder a vergonha e vale a pena, né? E você vai perceber que com a prática você vai se tornar cada vez mais fluente, cada vez mais natural e cada vez com menos vergonha mesmo. No começo é difícil mesmo. A gente fica meio retraído. Mas é normal, né? Mas eu acho que com o tempo a coisa vai tranquila.
Solta a língua, hein?
É isso aí. É isso, meus queridos. Querem mais vídeos aqui com conversa com os professores? Eu tô me divertindo muito, eu acho muito legal fazer.
Eu adoro também.
Se quiserem ver mais, comente aí que a gente volta com esse tema. Né, Fá?
É isso aí.
Gostaram do vídeo? Dá um joinha pra gente, adicione os favoritos, divulguem, se inscrevam no nosso canal se ainda não se inscreveram.
Cliquem no sininho do YouTube para receber os vídeos assim que eles vão ao ar.
E beijo no coração.
Tchau.